Hi guys, welcome to your channel Driving for Wellness. This is the Lakshmana Temple located in the Western Temple Complex in Khajuraho. The Lakshmana Temple is a 10th century Hindu temple built by Yashovarman dedicated to Vaikunta Vishnu. Yashovarman was a king of the Chandela Dynasty of India. He ruled in the Jijagbukti region, Bundelkhand in present-day Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. He practically established the Chandelas as a sovereign power from 925 CE to 950 CE and commissioned the Lakshmana Temple at Khajuraho. More on the temple. Vaikunta Chaturmurti or Vaikunta Vishnu is a four-headed aspect of the Hindu god Vishnu, mostly found in Kashmir. The icon represents Vishnu as the supreme being. He has a human head, a lion head, a boar head and a fierce head. This is an amazing temple complex. Let's check it out. The name Khajuraho or Khajura Vahaka is derived from Sanskrit. Khajura means date palm and Vahaka means one who carries or bearer. Local legends state that the temples had two golden date palm trees at their gate. They were found missing when the temples were rediscovered after 500 years. Despite Khajuraho's once great reputation as an important cultural center, there are no surviving non-religious buildings, but the presence of 35 Hindu and Jain temples make it one of the most significant historical sites in India today. But why were these temples built in Khajuraho? There is an interesting story of one Hemavati from Banaras, now Kashi, the beautiful daughter of a royal priest. One day after Hemavati passed away, her son saw her in his dreams, where she asked him to construct temples that would depict human passions. Quite interestingly, only 10% of the carvings on the temple complex depict these passionate themes. I will narrate this story later. The Lakshmana Temple is known for its outstanding brickwork and intricate art decoration. The temple consists of a Garbhagriha, Antarala and a Mandapa. The Lakshmana Temple best preserves the architectural features that typify the larger temples here. The platform has frieze of hunting and battle scenes with soldiers, elephants and horses, as well as scenes from daily life, including the erotic. The basement again has bands of carvings showing animals, soldiers, acrobats, musicians, dancers, domestic scenes, festivities, ceremonies, loving couples and deities. On the walls are the major sculptures of gods and goddesses in two rows, with apsaras in attendance on the raised sections discreetly placed in the recesses. All the figures are relaxed, resting their weight on one leg, thus accentuating their curves. There are some interesting facts about the Lakshmana Temple at Khajuraho. This temple belongs to the Western group of temples and is one of the three largest temples in Khajuraho. This temple was built in commemoration of the military victory and temporal power of the Chandela dynasty. It was completed around 954 AD and it is thought to be one of the earliest Chandela temples. It took about 20 years to build and was completed during the reign of Danga. It is the best preserved of all Khajuraho temples. The Lakshmana Temple is dedicated to Vishnu. The structure is as high as it is long. Every part of the temple is heavily decorated with a variety of sculptures that allude to the pleasures, pastimes, lifestyle, desires, and conquests of the Chandela dynasty. The circular ceiling of the porch, Ardha Mandapa, is a superbly carved open lotus blossom. In the hall Mandapa is a raised platform, possibly used for dancing and tantric rituals. At each corner of the platform are pillars with carved brackets with apsaras, which are among the finest sculptures at Khajuraho. There are 8 figures on each column, representing the 8 sects of Tantra. The sanctum Garbhagriha doorway has a panel showing incarnations of Vishnu, while the lintel has Lakshmi with Brahma and Shiva on either side. A frieze above depicts the 9 planets including Rahu, while Krishna legends and innumerable carvings of animals, birds and humans appear on the wall. The Pancharatha Sanctum main shrine was built to house the 3-headed image of Vishnu as Vaikuntha, which features 1 human head and the head of 2 of Vishnu's avatars incarnations, a lion and a boar. Around it are 10 incarnations and 14 forms of Vishnu. The bands are broken by ornate balconied windows with carved pillars and overhanging eaves. The nymphs shown are bearing offerings, dancing, playing musical instruments, or as sensual lovers are executed with great skill. They are graceful and fluid, with expressive faces and gestures. The best examples are seen in the recesses below the main tower. Coming back to the story of Hemavati, according to legend, many centuries ago in Banaras, now Kashi, a holy city in India, there lived a young woman Hemavati of enchanting beauty. Based upon the events spun around the life of this angelic beauty, the legendary temples of Khajuraho have been constructed. The young lass of ravishing beauty was having a dip in a pool at the vicinity of her residence under an equally enthralling moonlit sky. She was so pretty that her beauty cast a hypnotic charm. The moon god got mesmerized by her splendid gorgeousness and could not help but come down towards the surface. He made his presence known to Hemavati and told her that he has fallen for her. Fascinated by her killing gorgeousness, the moon god desired to come into unification with this pretty young woman. The divine entity landed on earth and announced his presence to the beautiful Hemavati. They had an intense, passionate relationship. The consequence was obvious. Hemavati became pregnant. The moon god had to return to his place on the sky, or the world would fall apart. And since Hemavati got pregnant, she had the entire society to answer. The moon god then held her close to him and prophesied that she shall head on towards an orchard full of date palms, where their boy will enter the world and construct temples with erotic sculptures depicting the passion, love, and desire that exists in the universe. This orchard was Khajuraho. As instructed by the moon god, Hemavati left Banaras for Khajuraho, where she was supposed to deliver her child. The set of divine orders also demanded the Virgin Mother should organize a sacred ceremony including sacrifice and sculpting of erotic statues. The instruction also insisted Hemavati to erect 85 temples in the date palm orchard. The temples would have to be designed with erotic images. Prophecy of the moon god materialized, and Hemavati's male child grew up to be a man of immense physical strength. The boy named Chandravarman turned valiant and radiant, as was the moon god who sired him. Legend goes that at the age of 16, this wonder boy could combat and slay ferocious lions and tigers by the stroke of his bare hands. Hemavati was elated at his son's exploits and summoned the moon god, who anointed the youth as Khajuraho's monarch. Chandravarman was invincible in wars and started erecting the erotic temples which purified his mother from the blemish she was carrying. He goes on to establish the Chandela dynasty, sets up the city of Kalinja, and lays the foundation of Khajuraho, a legacy that his descendants carry forward for generations until the fall of the dynasty 150 years later. With time and with the fall of the empire, the temples get buried under thick forests and remain hidden from the world for almost 500 years until a British engineer accidentally discovers them. The Chandelas ruled the central part of India for centuries, and the constructions went on. It was later in 1022 AD that a Persian historian named Abu Rihan al-Biruni accompanied Mahmud of Ghazni, who came to raid through the city. The raid was unsuccessful, and the Turkish ruler agreed upon a peace accord after the Hindu king gave him a little ransom amount. The historian took this chance that accounted for the first ever mention of Khajuraho temples ever recorded in history. As they say, change is the end result of all learning. All things are possible because anything can be learned. I hope you'll consider motivating me with a like and subscribe to my channel, Driving for Wellness. I'll be back soon with a new video. Till then, bye for now.